If you struggle with shin splints, keep listening because I'm going to give you an exercise that you can use to help decrease your pain with shin splints. So, I am Dr. Sarah Sewell from Resilience RX, and we are talking about shin splints. With shin splints, you typically get pain in through here, sometimes like deep in the center of your calf. And a lot of the time that occurs because the muscles that support your arch and hold your arch up repetitively collapse. So this happens very typically in runners, baseball players, somewhat basketball players, soccer players, lacrosse players, any sort of sport where you're running and you're landing and there's a lot of impact. When there's a lot of impact, if the muscles that hold the arch up aren't strong enough, the arch repeatedly goes down and flattens. And normally this is fine, it happens all the time, but when it happens too much and the muscle that controls the arch cannot control the arch, you're basically just pulling repeatedly on a muscle more than it can withstand. And when that happens, it gives you a signal called pain to stop doing that activity because it's not good for the muscle because the muscle isn't strong enough to tolerate those loads that you're putting through it. Typically, again, happens with runners or jumping or some sort of impact activity because impact creates forces much higher than normal day activities like walking and stuff like that. So in order to target shin splints, we're going to want to target the tibialis posterior. Now, there's other muscles in the shin that can contribute to shin splints, but the overwhelming majority of cases that I've seen of shin splints have the tibialis posterior involved. So that muscle is, if you think of a big bone called the tibia here and a small bone called the fibula here, that muscle is essentially like almost right in between those two muscles, very, very deep in your calf. It is responsible for inverting your ankle, so bringing the ankle in, and plantar flexing the ankle, so pushing the toes away from you. The best way to strengthen that muscle is to work on putting that ankle in. So to do that, you're going to attach a resistance band to a very heavy something or other. A table usually works just fine. I don't suggest a chair. A bed works good too. So attach the band. You are going to put the band around the middle of your foot and then scooch away so there's a good chunk of tension on that band. From here, you're going to let the band pull your foot out and then you're going to pull in. So it's in and out, back and forth to work that muscle and get it stronger. Now, typically in shin splints, I see a fairly good contraction going in and a choppy contraction that looks somewhat like that going out. That means the muscle isn't strong enough to control the flattening of the arch. When you come in, the muscle is pulling up on that arch. When you go out, the muscle is lengthening and allowing that arch to flatten, which in this case is okay. And when I'm saying arch come up and arch flatten, your arch isn't literally going like this and this. Well, this and this. My hand signals need work. It's not literally doing that. It's some movement. It's not a lot of movement. So you're going to pull in and try to control that motion on the way out. That's the main goal. If you can't control that motion, you're going to need to decrease the resistance on the band until you can control the motion. Once you can control the motion and you can hit a good 20 to 30 reps, that's when you're going to want to start increasing the resistance of that band to get that muscle a little bit stronger. So that is one of the better ways to work the tibialis posterior, which brings that foot in, supports that arch, and helps prevent against discomfort that's very, very typical with shin splints. If you have any questions on shin splints or if you're struggling with shin splints, go ahead and reach out. I'd love to answer your questions.